Sacramento, California, and the Sacramento metro area is so affordable, or at least that's what they say. I mean, I get it. You're coming in from Los Angeles and the Bay Area. Sacramento is a gold mine. I mean, you can pretty much buy whatever you want here and you really aren't sweating it. But what if you're one of those people that maybe grew up in Sacramento or coming in from another area outside of California? Sacramento is, I don't know if we can really call it affordable at this point. So in this video, we're going to talk about some of the affordable spots near Sacramento, old school Sacramento prices, and you don't have to sacrifice all that much. These are areas that I like to point people at if they're looking at the 300s, the 400s, and they want something really, really nice. We're going to get into this video and we're going to talk a little bit about these areas and why people absolutely love these areas, why people are pivoting from Sacramento to some of these areas, and they're absolutely glad they did it. I'm going to bring on Dave. Dave lives in one of those spots, and we're going to talk about why he loves it, why people are moving into those spots, and why he decided to move there instead of areas like Roseville, Rockland, Folsom. Let's get into the video right now. All right, guys, we got Dave from Linda, California. We're going to talk a little bit about Linda, Plumas Lake. We're going to talk about Olivehurst and all those areas, and they're blowing up because they are what I look at as affordable Sacramento area. And they're a little further out there, and we'll talk about the location and the driving time and everything too. But a lot of people right now, I'm seeing a lot of videos. It's like, oh, Sacramento, affordable, affordable, affordable. Guys, our price point has dramatically increased over the last 3 to 4 years. And there's a lot of people who grew up in Sacramento, a lot of people moving in from like Texas, Florida, or whatnot, and they are moving in. Who are thinking to themselves, I want to move to California. I hear Sacramento's affordable, and they're looking at the price tag, and it just doesn't really compute. Now, before we get into this, understand that I love the Sacramento area, and I'm super grateful that I moved in here. I live in the Gold River area. I just love it. But for a lot of people right now, it's a little out of budget. It's just not really doable. They would love to, but at the same time, they're saying what I can get for what I can afford in Sacramento, I just don't want it. So other these areas that are popping up, they're really, really just booming right now. Like Dave, like, what do you think of Linda? Like, where did Linda come from?
Well, I mean, Linda's been around a long time. It's right next to Marysville, which was established in the 1850s. So it's actually one of the oldest established cities in California, if you do some research with the gold rush and everything. But Linda's coming up, man. My builder, we started building here about 6 years ago, just down the road in Olivehurst, which is right next to Plumas Lake. But I did buy in Linda 5 years ago. And a lot of people are going to identify Linda because the Beale Air Force Base, which is, has a very good reputation for the government and servicing our country. That's literally its own town. It's, Beale Air Force. But it's down the road, literally about 7 minutes away from the current project where we're selling new homes here.
Now, here's the thing for me, guys. I love the Sacramento area. I love my West Rosevilles. I love my Ranchos. I love all that stuff too. But if you're someone who's looking in the 300s and you're looking in Sacramento, try searching on Zillow. It's not really a fun thing to look at. So for me, we've moved a lot of people into Linda, Plumas Lake, and the Olivehurst area because there's a lot of new home building and there's a lot of growth happening out there. In fact, if you are looking for a realtor in those parts, we actually brought on 2 additional realtors in that area specifically. So reach out to our team. We'd love to work with you. But okay, shameless plug. But what can you tell me, okay, Dave, as far as location wise, as far as Sacramento, I'm looking at Lincoln, Sacramento, Roseville as being the areas where you kind of connect in. Like a lot of people probably Plumas Lake, Olivehurst, Maryville. A lot of people probably work in the Sacramento area, correct?
Right. About, I did some researching recently, and of the closings that we've had in the last 24 months, close to 35% of all closings in this community came from a Sacramento zip code.
Oh, okay. And that's huge. I mean, it makes sense though, right? Like I grew up in Marin County and I was priced out. A lot of people in Sacramento, they're like, well, they're younger. They saw the last 4 years, everything popped up $100,000 to $200,000 more. Interest rates are high, and they're thinking to themselves, I really need a house. I want a house. I don't want something that is just like, that is a fixer or something that I have to, I want something for my family. And so like for me, one of the things that drew me to like a Linda, Plumas Lake, I mean, tons of builders out there as well too, like is the fact that the bang for your buck out there. I mean, if I say to you 350, you say, let's go shopping, correct?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's so funny. You're kind of setting me up for a good example for us. So thank you for that. I currently have a brand new floor plan that you can contact Mark or myself about after the call or after this, visit tonight. And I actually have a brand new floor plan in the 380s. And I got to make this plug real quick. I have a client on their way at about 8 o'clock or 8:15. As soon as we wrap up this call, they're coming to sign a contract on a property in the 380s. So just an example, having a brand new home with some of the incentives I can talk about today. Having a brand new home under 400, as you know, Mark, it just really, I don't want to say it doesn't exist, but it's extremely hard to find, and we have it.
So 380. So, I mean, if you're looking in Sacramento, you're talking about maybe a 2-in-1 or maybe a 3-in-1, maybe like 980 square feet or something like that. Like, is that what we're looking at in Linda?
Well, yeah, it's actually it's a very exciting 2 bedroom, 2 bath plan, single story. It's about a 40-foot backyard, very good sized side yards, about 10 to 15 feet side yards, or 10 to 15 foot, excuse me. Um, the first one that we had released recently, it sold on day 3 that we released it. So there's been a need for a 2 bedroom plan with 2 bath for a while, and I'm very happy and grateful that my builder, saw the need, saw the desire, and we're now currently building a 2 bedroom plan. But we also have a 3 bedroom plan at 407. So, whether you're getting a 3.2 or a 2.2, to have those kind of price points with all the incentives that we can, lightly talk about today, I mean, it really is unheard of. And on top of that, there's no HOA in this community. And I know that you told me to, give an example of why I moved here, but my wife and I bought a home from this builder, LGI Homes. We bought here 5 years ago, and I don't want to talk specifics about equity, but our equity is extremely healthy in the last 5 years.
I like that vague, but like to the point. Okay. I mean, I've seen people's equity go crazy in those areas too. And I think that I look at it as in like, these are the prices we were seeing in Sacramento, maybe, I don't know, maybe like 8 years ago, maybe something like that, like seven,
Right.
something like that. And, I remember when I was first out here and doing real estate and nice areas and everything too. I mean, you can get something in Orangeville for like 380 and you're good to go. So I think a lot of people in Sacramento got used to those price points and they're like, well, you know what? I'm 15. When I get older, get out of college, I can just jump back into Sacramento because I love the spot. Now I can buy myself a nice house and call it a day. They come back here and they look at something that maybe like, 8 years ago was like 380. And now it's like, closing in on 700. And they're like, whoa, I can't do this. Oh, and then they're like, but at least let me see if the interest rates are good. And so they look at the rates and we're like, over 6, and they're like, and then they look at the new homes, right? And then they're like at the
Right.
new homes, and there are still areas here in the Sacramento area, like in Rancho, they're building a new community by Woodside, guys. Or Richmond Homes bought Woodside, but I'm still going to call it Woodside. That we're going to be showcasing on Friday. It's crazy the deals that they're doing there. But if you're looking in the threes, like it's not just you guys building out like in the Linda, Plumas Lake like area too. I mean, you got some big time builders out there giving you guys some competition out there, correct?
You are correct. There are several communities being built in Yuba City. We are actually the only game in town, no pun intended, in Linda, Marysville. But then you have a hop, skip, and a jump away. Less than 10 minutes away, you have Plumas Lake, and there's several builders in Plumas Lake. So I think that if buyers were to do the research, they're going to find that we are a more enticing price point on a brand new home. But it's all the incentives that we're offering above that. Solar's paid for; it's not leased. We're buying down the rate extremely aggressively right now. Call us for details on that. But I wouldn't say, 499 or 399. I wouldn't say that at all, Mark. So we'll pretend I didn't say that.
Okay.
And then we're gonna, and we're also gonna pay almost all the closing costs, and we're gonna pay all of the prepaids for escrow. So if you think about all those incentives on top of the price and a no HOA, and it's a very charming country feel with large lots. People love no HOA and people love large lots. It's really hard to find a decent sized backyard, as you know. So when I start telling buyers they're going to get a 30 or 40-foot backyard close to a 400 price point, and they're not going to pay an extremely large uh, lot premium, if any, really none. It's extremely, filling a need for buyers right now.
Yeah, and also here's the thing: like you guys are killing it out there as well too. But like Plumas Lake, you got Lennar, Richmond American, Legacy, Cressley, KB, KHOV. You got other people, and then you got in Olivehurst, you got Lennar, Legacy, Richmond, Cressley. I mean, you've got a lot of building in your area, and of course, Linda, you guys are kind of dominating that market. But so if like you're someone who's going out there, it's not like you're just going out there for like one builder. You've got a lot, you've got a hotbed of new home activity in the threes and in the fours. So you can kind of go out there and there's some competition out there, right? I mean, you guys are killing it, but there's other people who are seeing that and going like, well, LGI is doing that. We're going to come in and try to knock them off. So, and that's always good for the buyer, right? Because what I found is like in Wild Hawk by Taylor Morrison, they're the only game in town right now. And because of that, they didn't really, their incentives are zero pretty much. They have not really good incentives. But you switch gears to Rancho Cordova where you have tons of new home building it and everyone's trying to keep up with KHOV with their incentives. So you guys are kind of the ones that people are saying, what does LGI got going on this week? And they're kind of trying to jump in to compete, which is good. Like I said, guys, for you guys out there, for the buyers, for the people who are looking for the new homes and you're looking to move out there and you want a brand new home, you want a nice piece of land, there are builders building out there too. So it's not just one builder, but there's a whole bunch of them as well too. So you can go around and pick out which one you like and everything too. Say hi to my man, Dave, of course, because Dave, I mean, Linda, okay, I will say this, Linda is a super cute community. Like I went in there and I saw school buses. I saw the whole 9 yards. I mean, it is a very, very fun community. What can you tell us specifically about Linda? And also, guys, if you look on this map right here, you're going to see that one of my favorite things in life, Costco, right there, guys. Costco's right smack dab in the middle of Olivehurst, Linda, and Marysville. And I say, I like Costco. I might have been carried away, but what I'm saying is Costco's right there. I mean, how big is that Costco? Does it hook you up or what?
I want to say real quick. So, one of the advantages, I was going to say this later in the call, but I might as well say it now. So, my wife has a gym membership in Roseville. So, she commutes to Roseville just for the gym. So, we're close enough for her to make a trip for the gym in Roseville, but we don't have to go to Roseville anymore for Costco. So, it's really nice to go 5 minutes down the road and be at a Costco, and you don't have to make a monster trip. We can go just to get a couple items, which we all know is hard to do at Costco. They have it set up strategically where you want to buy more than you need. But if you just need milk or eggs or meat or whatever, you can go 5 minutes away and get it and come back home. And I don't know of anywhere else, Mark, that they've got regular gas prices close to $3.40 a gallon, but Costco has it in Marysville right now. And there's a competing Walmart gas station across the street. So having those two compete with gas prices, I don't know where you're going to get a better price on gas anywhere in the greater Sacramento area than Marysville.
Wait, say that gas price again. I might be driving over there tomorrow.
340.
Which is 340, which is a little, I get what I just said. So I understand how that makes no sense, but I'll tell you one thing. Okay. Let's talk about distance. Let's talk about location from like the Plumas Lake, Linda area to get to Roseville. What are we talking about?
40 to 45.
Okay. And how about downtown Sacramento?
About 45.
All right. So you got a 45-minute commute, but you also have a bigger house, yard, brand new efficiency. You got a new Costco out there. How old is the Costco too?
2 years.
Oof, 2 years old. Okay, so you got Costco, you got Walmart. Okay, so other things out there too, as far as like if I move out and I'm like, hey, I'm going to Linda or I'm going to Plumas Lake, like what do I do out there? Like, is it just I'm coming into Sacramento every 5 minutes, Roseville, or what is it like living out there?
So, for my wife and I's lifestyle, she homeschools. So our son, we have his homeschool group in Yuba City. Our church is in Yuba City. There's really, really nice outdoor aquatic parks in Yuba City. Tons of parks. I can't really say enough about the beautiful parks that are here in the Yuba County area. But I like that you're really close to camping. I mean, we can be at Lake Collins or Camp Far West. or just different places. If you want to go fishing or excuse me, fishing, hiking, or camping, you're not 3 to 4 hours away. Like you want to go to Yosemite, like it's a big Griswold vacation kind of thing. You can go on a weekend and it doesn't have to be that big of a deal because it's so close, 20 minutes away. Um, but everyday life, I mean, everything, if it's not in Marysville, Yuba City has Target, Sam's Club, all the major car dealerships, all the corporate restaurants like Chili's and Olive Garden, nice steakhouses, Huckleberry's, probably one of my wife and I's favorite spots to eat. Um, Too many fast food restaurants, too long to count on the air. And a lot of, I got to plug the taquerias. The Mexican food here is actually something to brag about. The street tacos by Antonio's, Cinco de Mayo has probably the best breakfast tacos I've ever had. So there's food and your grocery needs for Walmart and Costco, Target, Sam's Club, Bel Air. There's even a small Whole Foods chain called New Whole Earth in Yuba City. It's just a little bit of a smaller version of Whole Foods. And there is a shopping mall. The Yuba County Shopping Mall is in Yuba City, 15 minutes away from this community. So your shopping, your dining, your parks, I mean, everything really is close by. I know that we all work a lot in this society, but when you do want to take a break and you want to take your kids places, there are places to go. And Cinemark, movie theater. I mean, you name it, they have it. It's just that it's 40 minutes outside of Sacramento, so not a lot of people know that it's here. But I've lived here for 5 years, and I can tell you it's here.
Okay. So let me ask you something. I look at Roseville and the Sacramento area as being our main shopping hub. This is where people go to shop. You got like all that stuff too. Now, you mentioned Yuba and you've also mentioned Roseville. So what are those situations where you decide to go to Yuba instead of like a Roseville? Like, is it for distance or is it for like a different vibe, or like what are we looking at there?
Well, as much as I love the Roseville Galleria, it's from here, we're only talking, distance is one reason. We're talking 12 to 15 minutes to the mall in Yuba versus, 40 to 45 minutes to Roseville. And although Roseville has, the more elegant setup with the Galleria, as we all know, if I don't feel like going to a higher end restaurant that is in Roseville, and I want the down home, country vibe of Yuba City, which they still have the burger and brew houses and all the corporate restaurants, like I've mentioned before, with Chili's and Olive Garden and such. If distance is a thing and you don't feel like traveling all the way to Sacramento or Roseville, you have that option with Yuba City. Yuba City is a very old city. It's very established, just a lot lower population, but I can't really think of any. It's just less traffic. Also, to me, Mark, if I had to choose, there's so less traffic out here than there is in Roseville. It came up to
Okay.
my wife and I the other day when we were, driving right next to the Galleria in that main intersection between the Galleria and the Fountains area, and it just the red light bumper to bumper was just. I mean, it's a beautiful place, but if you don't enjoy traffic, this is another reason we like it out here. It's not nearly as congested.
I'll tell you something. That's kind of one of the things I like about West Roseville, what they're building out there too, is that they're going to be, and some of the newer areas who they're developing with the malls a little bit more spread out. I do think the Galleria, there's a lot of traffic. The 6580, that's brutal. Like the West Roseville area, I think they're planning it. Like, I think there's a lot of people in Sacramento who didn't realize that our growth would be this big. So I think our infrastructure right now, we're kind of playing catch up. But in these new areas, like your West Rosevilles, your like Ranchos and everything too, Folsom, not so much. But in a lot of these areas that are a little bit further away, I think that like they're planning it out right. Like I look at West Roseville, and a lot of people, when we look out for houses in West Roseville specifically, they're like, it feels like we're in the middle of nowhere. No, it's not that. It's just they planned it out because of the growth and the spreading out of everything too. Like they're trying to plan it out for growth, for building, so that it won't be so like congested. Do you see what I mean? Like they're planning these
Yeah.
communities further enough from each other so that there won't be a lot of traffic. What right now they're seeing, like in Folsom, if you go to East Bidwell, and I kid you not, around 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, it's completely congested getting to like, Folsom Ranch. And for me, I think West Roseville, they're going at a slower pace to create a in the future like this amazing kind of like roads surf parks, like malls. Hopefully they get a hospital out there too. Just all these things that West Roseville is going to be rocking. Rancho, I think the same thing. I think they're spreading it out and kind of creating this whole downtown Dova. I mean, we have so much fun stuff happening to Sacramento in the future. Like we got that new MLS rail yards stadium. We have downtown Dova, which is like an indoor soccer stadium, like a national like indoor soccer league that they're doing as well too. There's a ton of stuff. So it brings me to the pivot to you, Dave. Like, what are the things happening in your neck of the woods, in the Plumas Lakes and the Olivehurst, Linda? What are those things? Because I know you, as someone who works in the new homes, part of your pitch is to tell people what are those things coming to your area. So what are those things? When people come out there and they go to LGI and they look at Linda, beautiful community, and they're saying, oh, love the price point, love the incentives, love the homes. Well, but we feel like we're in the middle of nowhere. What's that pitch, or what do you tell them as far as the things that are coming in the near future to like that area?
So, the strong rumors that I've heard, and, you know, word of mouth and such, of course, I can't see stuff on paper, but Chipotle is about to release a brand new place and open in the Costco parking lot. Wendy's just got built. Okay. Right next to the Walmart. And I'm talking this whole Costco intersection, because as you know, just like in Roseville, and that's why they're building a second Costco in Roseville, because the first Costco is so darn busy. Now you're going to have two Costco's in Roseville. Everything kind of migrates around Costco. They've created, the meeting place for other commercial opportunities, right? So around this Costco out in Marysville, and I know Yuba City and Plumas Lake probably thought that that's where Costco was going to go, but Costco, they're smart and they wanted to be close to LGI, so that's what they chose. So now around Costco, like I said, you've got Chipotle coming. I think within the next 30 days, it looks like they're about to open. Wendy's just got done. Next to the Walmart, you have Panda Express and a new car wash. They just redid the fire department, which is 5 minutes away from this current community. And it's 5 minutes away from our next community. That's for another time. That's coming soon.
All right.
So there's just so much commercial coming, but food especially, because the population is growing. Schools are already here. So now, more food chains are coming. There's strong rumors of other restaurants that I don't want to say on the air because I haven't seen concrete black and white. So I don't want to, make false hopes. But I have heard very strong rumors of places. I know in Yuba City, they just opened a Cane's. And when Cane's came to Roseville, that was a big deal. So now that Cane's and another Dutch Bros is in Yuba City, there's just all these major things that normally everybody goes to Roseville. Well, not everybody wants to spend $600 to $700 on a house. So if you want to spend $400 to $450, or at least under $500, and you still want to have the nice eating places and the good amenities, you've got it here now.
Now, here's the thing, guys. I tell you this straight up. I love Dave, LGI, and everything too. We have no affiliation with LGI, but I will tell you one thing. Dave is that one person, and I've reached out to tons of salespeople, tons of new home people. Dave's the only one who's actually taken me up on my offer to come here and talk about his area. I've reached out to a bunch of them. So don't, if you're working at Richmond or if you're working at Toll Brothers, we do not, come on in. I love to talk to you guys a little bit too. I think there has always been a disconnect between people who work in and live in various areas that want to come on the show. This show is available. So reach out to me. We do not have like one preference here or there. We want to showcase the whole area just for you guys. So when you come out here, you're going to get a little bit of a vibe of like what to expect. Now, okay, so you mentioned about all this stuff happening in like the Plumas Lake and the Linda area and everything too. But you mentioned something that really made me perk up as far as gas prices. What would you say as far as the cost of living in comparison to Sacramento and then in comparison to the Bay Area? Like as far as like the cost of living of things, what does that look like?
So because I meet buyers on a daily basis out here and I ask them their goal, right, of a mortgage payment. I'm going to start with this. A lot of them say they want to be somewhere between $2,000 and $2,500 for a mortgage payment. And as you know, Mark, that was only possible 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So to get even close to 2,500 or let's say even around $3,000 for an all-in payment with, principal and interest, taxes, everything, you know, we're providing that service. And this is just a way of answering this question. When you go to Sacramento or Roseville, that number four, speaking of 4,000, that's a little bit more normal of a payment in those areas. Would you agree?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's
100%,
probably a
right?
little low.
Or 5,000 maybe. So obviously, depending on numbers and whatnot, to get that number three, which everybody would like to see. I'm not Eminem, but I just rhymed. Sorry. Um, the cheese is unlimited, Mark. It's unlimited. Um, I think the payment is the first thing about cost of living that most couples are going to think about first and foremost. In fact, the buyer coming tonight to start his paperwork on a new home, he's coming from Sacramento. Um, so the mortgage payment is huge. My wife and I, it's not that we can't afford Roseville or Sacramento, but it is a beautiful thing if you've got a really affordable mortgage out here, and you can go on vacation and you can go to Roseville to do activities and come back to your lower mortgage. And I'm not going to talk specific numbers because I don't want to be unfair to people, but I do think if you were to call Mark or call David, you're going to find out the cost of living out here is extremely shocking in a good way, in an affordable way that people would not think. They just don't know geographically that we're out here. So obviously, this is good that people are going to get introduced to this area a little bit more, that they had no idea. They think this area is probably 2 hours away from Sacramento, when in fact it's 40 minutes.
I
The
know.
other thing is gas. 340. Drop the mic right there. $3.40. How do you get better than that, Mark? What's the cost of gas in Gold River?
Oh, four something, four. Yeah, it's up there, man. It's up there. That's just
A
nuts. I
dollar
can't.
to a dollar 50 more. I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah, that's crazy right there. Oh my God, you must. Yeah, that's right there. That's nuts. But okay, so for
And I
me,
drive
here's
a
the thing.
truck, so I drive
Yeah,
a
you're
truck,
filling
so
up
it's nice
daily.
to have. Yeah.
Here's the thing for me, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to have Dave on the show. One is because I really don't know too many people who live in this area, like Lewiston, but just because I don't spend a lot of time there because I'm mostly based on Sacramento. But, I know Dave and he's a good guy. And I wanted to give you guys who watch this program other options, right? I think on this channel, one of my main things is to always be able to give people options and education on areas so that when, do you decide to maybe pull the trigger on Sacramento or Sacramento area, you've kind of looked around and you kind of know the geography, a lot of stuff about the area. So you feel comfortable making a decision. And I think for a lot of people right now, price and numbers are just so in their head. It's like they want to buy a home and everything too. A lot of people who grew up in Sacramento probably want to buy a home, and they're saying like, I don't want to have I cannot afford a $5,000 mortgage payment. That's just nuts. And what I'm getting for this, like I'm not buying in Grand Bay Los Lagos. What's going on here? This is just nuts. So I do think the idea that, like I look at this area where you're in right now, and I see it as, one of the next big things. I see the growth potential in this area. I see a lot of similarities with the way like Sacramento kind of grew the other areas and everything too. And the price point, what you can get, the amount of builders out there too, and even the resale stuff too. For some people who will like the organic garden, or even just want horses, like there's acreage properties out in this area, right, Dave?
Yes, sir. And in fact, you mind if I lead into something real quick?
Hit it.
So if people are familiar, I think a lot of people are familiar with the location of the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. It's in Wheatland, California. Wheatland, California. A couple builders are over there, including I believe either Richmond or K Hovnanian, I believe, is over there.
K-House, yeah.
So Wheatland has a lot of land over there, right, with acreage, and it's publicly announced that there's over 300 acres right next to the casino that I believe it's going to be a $1.2 billion project with a sports complex, indoor water park, dining, shopping, the whole shebang in between the casino and the Toyota Amphitheater. Those kind of things, and I think you would agree, Mark, 100%, that that's going to drive a lot of people out this way for job opportunities or retired people that just like the casino life when they're retirement, whatever, that is going to be a big driver out here. Um, and you're right. I think that having larger average lot space and having some acreage opportunities, being close to places like Sheridan or Loma Rica or whatever, and only being like 20 minutes away from those places, and being able to buy, 2 to 10 acre parcels, like, but this is a community and it has that more quiet country vibe with almost no traffic. It's just people don't like traffic and they want to get away from it. So to have no traffic, almost no traffic, and to get an affordable mortgage, can I say it's the dream and drop the mic? Can I do that?
You can definitely try. Now, listen, how far is it from like this area to the airport?
So Sacramento International, you're
Yeah,
just a tad over 45 minutes. And
that's not,
my
that's
wife
not
and
bad
I
at
have
all.
been, yeah, my wife and I've been blessed enough to take a lot of trips. Once to twice a year, we're on the plane, and we're also flying in her lovely mother, who I care for dearly. And so we go pick up her at the airport when we fly her out here from Texas. Um, as we all know, Sacramento is such an easy airport to deal with, and it's roughly 45 minutes from here. So
Okay. I got a question here. Okay, I lived in Yuba City and did that for 33 years. No thanks. I'm glad I moved to Elk Grove 6 months ago. Now, let me ask you something, Dave. If for some reason LGI
yeah,
started building a community in Elk Grove or Roseville, would you still live in Linda?
well, I'll tell you, and I think you know this about me. Um, to have been blessed, to have been blessed by God with over 4 years of networking and meeting so many realtors that I do care about. Um, I had a closing today with a lovely realtor. Not only did she buy a home for me a couple years ago, but I think her and I celebrated our eighth or ninth closing together with a client today. They closed and got their keys. Um, I have developed so many dear relationships over the last over 4 years being in this area. It would be really hard for me to just get up and move unless my wife just forced me. That would be the only way. She's the boss. So that happens, then yes, I would go.
So you would do a 45-minute drive twice a day just because of because you have those ties in the Linda area.
I would. It's as you know. I mean, people make this business. Real estate.
Yeah.
It's the people business. So you and I've known each other for almost 4 years, I believe, and you know, we keep in touch. And you're a very positive person in my life that I really enjoy keeping up with. We don't get to meet that often in person, but we're very far away. But you have a lot of passion for your business and your clients and your team, and I have a lot of passion for this company and all my buyers. So it's and my realtors. So it would be hard. It would be hard to readjust or relocate. It really would.
It's interesting for me because I mean, here's the thing though, and the lucky part for your situation is that if you wanted to, you could make the move. A lot of people right now, one of their only options, I mean, or they don't feel like they have options. Like, they're living in Sacramento. They maybe got pre-qualified for $400,000. Let's say $400,000. And they're looking at what you can get in Sacramento for $400,000, way under the median home price here in Sacramento. We're not, I mean, that's even lower than what the median home price is in Roseville, Folsom, El Dorado Hills, and the list goes on and on. So for like in Sacramento, I mean, if someone called me up and said, "Hey, I'm looking for something for $400,000," I mean, if they were lucky, a 3-and-1, I mean, it would be a fixer. It would be old. They'd probably have to deal with a lot of stuff, and it would it wouldn't be as easy. Whereas, you know, thankful that we have like areas like Linda, Plumas Lake, and Olivehurst and everything too, where they're building. I could say like, let's go for a tour. Let's go and take a look at some of these new homes. And guess what? You can actually get pre-qualified for more because the interest rates they're offering lower interest rates. And they're like, what?
Yep.
Yeah, you can actually pay less and buy more because you can qualify for more because the interest rates are giving are in the fours, as opposed to with resale here, you're not. And for the new home communities that are building in the Sacramento area, I would say that if someone called me up and said, "Hey, look, we're looking for something in the high fours," there's probably only going to be a handful of communities, one that's starting in January that I'm going to showcase on Friday, but there's not a lot. There's just not a lot. Whereas if you go to Linda, Plumas Lake, like you've got builders like left and right. You know, you go Linda, that's you guys, your home hub. But you go to like Plumas Lake, you go to like Olivehurst, and you got like Lennards, you got like Richmond Americans, you got Crestley, you got builders building. So you have those options. I mean, it was crazy. I've worked with a few people that we've been showing them Sacramento, and they're pre-approved for like 450. I'm not seeing what I'm going. They're bringing the wife, and they're like, this isn't what I'm looking for. Then all of a sudden, we pop over to your neck of the woods. It's either LGI or it's like Crestley, and they're like seeing options. And the beautiful part
Right.
is that when you're at that price point, you don't feel like you have options. You feel like you're very limited, and you feel almost like that point of saying, you know what, I just got to buy something. Oh man, it's great to know that you have these options. Now, for a lot of us, as we all know, 45-minute drive isn't going to be fun for anybody, for nobody. But I will say this, for a realtor like me, 45 minutes in the car, I'd be making like at least 100 calls, because that's how kind of my life kind of revolves. So it becomes my mobile office. Now, would I do that or not? I don't know. But at the same time, it would be so tempting for me to say, look what I can get. Look at my mortgage payment. Now I have more money I can spend on trips, more money I can put in the college accounts, more money I can invest in other things and do other stuff, as opposed to have that 2 a.m. sweating of like, oh, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't move to Sacramento for this. Why am I doing this? It's good to have options. Now, guys, here's the thing I will tell you. I'm not saying go over to, Linda. I'm not saying go to Olivehurst. I'm saying know your options, right? I'm saying go to Sacramento, go to your West Rosevilles, which is awesome. Go to your Ranchos, go to your Folsoms, go to your Citrus Orangevales and everything too. But also look at the outskirts, look at the Lincolns, look at the Wheatlands, look at the, Lindas and everything too. Know everything around you. I mean, that kind of knowledge is such power when you're moving to an area that you don't really know. And for me, at least, like that's what's vital. And that's what our team does, I think, better than any other team in the area, is that we're the team that's going to be telling you, hey, look, have you ever thought of this? Have you ever thought of that? Did you know they're building Cahab in Wheatland? Did you know they're building this in Lincoln? Grass Valley's building some new homes. And I think for me, if I was moving into an area, like let's say I was moving to Denver, I would be so confused. I wouldn't know where to start. I would go, I need to be close to Denver, or do I need to be? And know that when you're in Sacramento, because we do have a lot of land spread out, and there's areas like your Marysvilles, your Plumas Lakes, your Lincolns and everything too. It's a lot of land to cover. And, getting boots on the ground and figuring this stuff out is so essential to making a good decision, especially in this market. Don't you think, Dave?
I do. And you mind if I add on to that?
Absolutely.
I don't, let's say that there are a lot of families out there um, that they may not have, 25, $30,000 in their pocket, right? Or more that you need with a lot of real estate options. And I want to be careful because there are so many good options in the greater Sacramento area. I respect every builder out there. We're all here as a team to help all these deserving homeowners get a home. So I applaud everybody's efforts out there in new construction and all of the sellers selling their resale home. Like everybody deserves, success in what they're doing because they're giving effort and passion and care for the buyers. But I want to give my company just a little pat on the back because, we have zero down, and we're going to make it where if somebody doesn't have a lot of money, they can come in up front with just $4,000 and they can move into a home, and that's closing costs and everything. So if somebody doesn't have the upfront liquid money in their account saved up, and we all know it's really hard. It takes a lot of time to save up an additional $10,000, which people might think that's going to help them. But you and I know, Mark, that $10,000 extra down payment is only going to affect your mortgage payment about $60 or $65, and by that 6 months to a year that it took them to save that extra 10,000, prices are higher, so it doesn't really help the situation. So if we can get them the right home at the right price now, and they don't have to take the time to save it, they're going to be better on the price and the interest rate that we're providing. So I just think that I love what you're saying about knowing your options. There's a lot of great areas out here. I do think that Yuba City and Plumas Lake and they're all good areas. I feel like we have a lot of positive things to offer the buyer. and I'm very passionate about that when people do their research and their comparisons. So we're just here, even if it's just a conversation or a tour. We're here with arms wide open. We're here to help people, even if it's just the first base conversation to start their search for a new home after they call Mark McDonough.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. But I will tell you one thing. One of the reasons why these areas have exploded the way they have is because of Sacramento's growth. You know, areas like
Yeah, I
Roseville,
agree.
like Folsom, like everything too. Like we like it's kind of like what's called like when we get a cold, a lot of places around us sneeze. And so I think at least for me, I look at stuff and I say to myself, the reason why Olivehurst and Linda, Marysville, Plumas Lake, Yuba are growing and developing is because a lot of people are priced out and the market in Sacramento is just on fire still. I mean, yes, I know the market right now is like, but if you look at it against like a Phoenix or a Houston or whatnot, we're still in fantastic shape. And I have faith in our market that once interest rates dip a little bit and next year happens, I mean, we're still going. So, you know, I like Sacramento's market. I like the Yuba County, like your area as well too. I think for me, I look at that. So is like the young developing, like you know. I mean, I look at it a little bit like what Elk Grove was, kind of like a little bit that kind of farmy-ish. Because if you look at all these areas on the map, especially, you'll see like you have your Plumas Lake, and there's a lot of agricultural around here too, a lot of land to build. And then you got
Yep.
between Olivehurst and Plumas Lake, you got this. You got like the river here, and then you got more land here. I mean, there's so much land to kind of build and develop. Speaking of, like, what can you tell us about like new schools? Are there any new schools coming out in the area?
I don't know. I know that that's up. There's a need for it because population is increasing. I
Yeah.
know that we, not to go on a side note and not answer it, but I mean we have another project coming up just in a short few months, and that's going to be hundreds of homes. Um, and we've got another project coming up in Yuba City. So we've got so much development going on in the Yuba County area, and we're only one builder. There's several other builders out here. So are new schools needed? I'm sure that there will be. I just don't. I can't give you a black and white time and date because I don't know those details offhand right now, Mark.
Let me ask you, LGI, how many homes do you guys plan on building in Linda?
As of right now, we have already we've already completed, I want to say 450 in less than 5 years, and we have another 550, on that are coming soon. Um, and I don't think that we're going to stop there. I think that there's more land that could be purchased. You hear rumors. I think those rumors are going to come true. I feel very blessed that I don't have to move. I can stay here for a long time, and be down the street from all this, new home construction. So I feel I can't really put into words how blessed I feel, Mark, because as you and I both know, with a lot of builders and new home construction consultants, they constantly have to move every 1 to 2 years, and I'm not going to have to do that. So I'm feeling pretty blessed.
Well, the other thing too is I mentioned this too, and this goes for West Roseville. This goes for all these areas where they're building. Um, have faith that businesses will come. Have faith that restaurants will come. I'll tell you why. Because why wouldn't a business come to a captive audience? Why wouldn't a business come to all these families that live right there? I mean, if I was a business, I was a dentist or something, I'd be like, oh, I'm building right. My office is gonna be smack dab in the middle of all these like new homes. I mean, it just for me, it's just like a no brainer. I'm like, of course. I mean, you got a captive audience. I mean, put it at Chili's. Why not? What it gives people an option to eat, and you got all these houses being built in this area. So for me, I think of it as like a no brainer. Like areas like a West Roseville, areas like a Linda, areas like Olivehurst. Like when they have people there, when they have all these homes there, when they have families and all that stuff and population growth, you're going to have like various like commercial stuff happening there. So I just see that. I see these homes and these communities being the foundation that a lot of people are going to get that brain and say, you know what, I'm going to start my practice over there. Why? Well, there's 40,000 homes and families there and they don't have this. Let me bring it to them. And I think a lot of people are going to respond. So for me, I'm very optimistic about this. All right, we got lovebirds. So glad we gave this area a shot. I've come to love it, and our friends seeing its potential with all their new developments, super affordable. Yeah, I this is the kind of comments I love as well too. Comments basically that give a little love on areas too, because here's the thing. Dave can say something. He's LGI. He's a salesman. He's got this. And I'm a realtor. When you got these comments coming in from people who actually live in the area, this is the stuff that you guys should be listening to, because this is the stuff that's just coming in, people showing their love for the area. Now, like I said before, I'm not saying move to Linda, move to Plumas Lake, move to Sacramento. I'm saying just understand that Sacramento reminds me a little of Los Angeles. Very vast, very driving. And there are places on the outskirts where you can buy more. Your buck goes way further. And so if you're someone who is freaked out by mortgage payments, if you're someone who's like looking at what you could buy and what that looks like monthly, guys, go a little further out, expand your radius with our team, of course, and we can show you some options that are out there, which is great. All right, we got another question here. Is there any plans to make Highway 70 bigger with more lanes? That would be so nice. What do you think, Dave?
I've actually heard a rumor about something coming about in Wheatland where they're going to be doing that. So I have heard of some kind of highway expansion. I don't want to say details. I'm sure that you could research that. I just haven't taken the time, to be honest with you. I'm pretty busy. But I have heard rumors that is going to happen over the next 3 to 5 years. But I don't know black and white details yet.
It would be nice if they kind of saw what's happening in Sacramento at this point with like the 50, with everything. And they're like, okay, look, this area is going to be growing in the future. This area is going to be just booming like crazy. Let's lay the infrastructure now instead of later. Because I feel like a lot of times I look at Sacramento and I think that they just didn't realize the growth that was going to happen to Sacramento. And now they're just playing catch up. I mean, there's no like, highway surrounding the Sacramento metro area. You got Folsom, what they're putting in like 15, 20,000 new homes. You got that happening in Elk Grove, West Sacramento, West Roseville, Rockland, Lincoln. They're building new homes everywhere, and they're all spread out. And all these like arteries that we have, like they're Hazel, Sierra, Bradshaw's, like Sunrise. I mean, they're just bottlenecking us. And now the latest bottleneck is East Bidwell. It's brutal. So hopefully, they say to themselves, all these new homes coming in, builders like LGI, Cressley, Lennar, Richmond, they're building all these new homes out here and they're moving. Inventory is still going. So let's put in some roads and kind of figure this stuff out before we have like 20,000 new homes out there and the roads are 2-lane highways out there and everyone's hitting, cows and stuff. So hopefully they do. It would be nice. It would be nice. And it would make me think that people learn from their mistakes, but you never know. All right. Ginger says, howdy. How you doing, Ginger? If you guys have any questions also about the Sacramento area, our market, if you have any questions about Linda, if you have any areas about any of these spots, let me know. Our market in general, right now, it's seasonally cold. It just is what it is. We just had a little bit of sunlight seep through the clouds. We've had like 2 weeks of straight fog. We're seeing a little sun sporadically hit us, maybe for like an hour, but it's still kind of foggy. I hear it's going to be rainy for the next couple, days as well too. That's what we're getting now in our market. We're seeing a lot of inventory being pulled off the market. So inventory is really, really low. Now and again, a house will be priced super aggressively, or a house will be priced or listed in an area that is like a must buy spot, like the house we just listed in Folsom that already has an offer in on it. And this house is gorgeous. Views of Folsom, gorgeous, and next gen suite. Oh, beautiful Folsom home. If you guys are looking for something with views, no 50 noise, super good, super low. The views are just amazing. Just reach out to our team. But the market's a little cold. It generally is. Now for you, Dave, what are you noticing in the new home realm? This time of the year, what I've noticed is that it's colder than most in New Homeville. Would you say that's true?
It's funny because normally around November, December, I am personally I'm not really paying attention to other builders because I keep laser focused on my buyers and what I have in front of me and what LGI is doing. Our incentives this year were red hot. I mean, we were offering a 3.99 rate, and that was just the tipping point in a good way for a lot of people to it was a no-brainer for them to make a decision and say, you know what, I'm ready to own at that rate. So we've had an extremely good third and fourth quarter here, more than most fourth quarters in the past few years, if I could recollect, because the rate was just too good to pass up. So I keep my ears open to what's coming to the other areas, but I don't really know what they've done. Because honestly, I've been very blessed with a lot of buyers lately, so I've been pretty
Okay.
laser focused.
All right, I'll say this in the Sacramento area. I do think it's colder than most times for the year for new home builders. I think areas like, I think it's just getting cold. I think you're seeing more incentive hit the market. I think for the last part of 2025, we've seen something crazy where actually builders have reduced prices on homes, which is usually the last thing they want to do because it messes up the appraised value for a lot of people in their building. But I will tell you one thing though, builders have no plans on stopping. I also hear about a lot of new communities that are going to be popping up in 2026. So it might be slow, but I think a lot of builders realize that it's just a seasonal thing. And then next year it's going to go, go, go. And it might be a little slow now. It might be a little cold now, but I just don't, I mean, I know at least maybe 12, 13 new communities that are going to be popping up in 2026. You got East Ridge Village in El Dorado Hills. You got that other one by Toll Brothers in El Dorado Hills. Taylor Morrison just bought some land in Folsom. You got Taylor Morrison building in Rancho pretty soon. You got the new community by Woodside that's under $500,000, which we're releasing on Friday to watch. You guys definitely got to check it out. There's a lot of new homes that are communities that are going, going, going. So I think, I think there's inventory right now, and I think that you can get some good deals for, and good deal is relative. It's those people who are looking for that. But I think that, people are getting deals on the resale if they're seeing what they want. And it's been on the market for a while. It's just a crazy market. I will say though, it's been active for our team, seasonally oddly active. And I'm not saying it's because our team is this and that, the other thing. I'll just say that like it's been very odd. And we're grateful for it. And we're grateful for you guys tuning in and watching the show and everything too. Now let's get back on track and let me not go into one of my Mark tangents. Let's go into other things about the Plumas Lake and Linda area for all you people who've tuned in just for that. Healthcare. What are we talking about? Hospitals, all that stuff in your neck of the woods.
Right Out Hospital is about seven minutes in the car. I've had, reasons. My wife and I both had reasons to go there, even in the middle of the night. So you got 24-hour care there. 24/7 urgent care, hospital, the whole 9 yards. It is a major hospital by Adventist, the group Adventist. And then you have Sutter facilities and Adventist facilities that I know of in Yuba City. So my primary position is in Yuba City. My son, who is 7 years old, his pediatrician is also in Yuba City. Hello, Julian. You should be in bed by now. So, I mean, I like that you have a lot of medical advantages or hospital advantages, excuse me, with urgent care and the ER that are close by, 10 minutes, 15 minutes away. But if you just are already committed to Kaiser or Sutter or UC Davis, you're 30 or 40 minutes away. So it's not that bad.
Okay. So here's one thing that I did notice is it seems like the Sacramento area, like the Rosevilles and everything too, but you're not too familiar. Like it seems like you kind of stay in your bubble of like the Yuba, Linda, Olivehurst kind of area, correct? I mean, that's pretty much the areas as far as the real estate market goes.
Most of the time, just because with time that I'm not doing real estate, I love to be at home with my wife and son. So Lisa and Julian are obviously my world. So I want to be home with them when I'm not doing real estate. So.
All right. All right. Well said. Well said. Now, guys, if you guys missed the old format that we had, it will be coming back after the New Year's, but I've been a little sniffling and everything too. And I want to bring on some people from other areas because one of the big calls that we've been getting from people is affordability. People who are looking in the 4s and looking in the 5s and can't find anything. So I want to bring on people like Dave, people like Noel next week that gave people other options, people who wanted more land, people wanted alternatives to maybe what they're seeing in Sacramento. Now, I love Sacramento. You know me, I'm like Mr. Sacramento these days. But I want to give also people alternatives. I don't want people to feel like, it's either Sacramento or bust. There are other areas around the neck of the woods that they could look at. If you're someone looking for the outdoor lifestyle, you're going to find it in areas like Linda. You're going to find it in areas like Plumas Lake and Grass Valley, Nevada City, Wheatland. We live in some of the best scenery and some of the best area in Northern California, bar none. It's not just going to go away because you move over to Linda. Now, as far as job-wise goes, Dave, we mentioned that you said a lot of people do commute to Sacramento or people do commute to Sacramento. What would you say as far as you go? Like, okay, out of 10 buyers that come into looking for a house there, Where are
Mhm.
they coming in from?
Well, close to one third are coming from Sacramento, as we talked about before. But we are getting people from the Bay. We're getting obviously people that are local, Yuba City, Linda, Marysville, Olivehurst, a little bit of Plumas. Like Yuba County is probably 20 to 30%. And then I would say everywhere from Roseville to El Dorado Hills to parts of the Bay Area. I mean, Martinez, Hercules, San Francisco. I mean, I really could name a lot of, Palo Alto, a lot of small areas that saw our marketing in some way, or their realtor said, look, if you're working from home, this is one of the most affordable places I can find you that is in the Sacramento, close to the Sacramento area. Um, and one thing that I forgot to mention earlier, I'm sorry to go off here, but Yuba County was ranked the fastest growing county in California earlier in the year. So I just want to throw that out there. That was public, that Yuba County is the fast growing county in California. And most of it's probably because of affordability, Mark. There's a lot more people out there that can afford 400 or 450 or then can afford, 600 plus. So we want to help those buyers. And I think
Okay.
because of that, we want to help the average hardworking family that deserves home ownership. And I don't think you can say it any better than that.
All right, I love it. I love it. Now, if you guys are out in the Plumas Lake, Linda area, hit Dave. I put his contact information below if you want to. Like, here's the thing. Number one is Dave is the man out there with LGI. If LGI is not your thing, he'd probably recommend a couple other spots. He's that good of a guy. Now, if you're looking for a team, guys, to work with you in that area, we just brought on 2 new realtors in that area specifically. So reach out to my team. We'd love to show you some new homes. Our main goal, as far as my team goes, is to give you options, educate you on the area, and eventually find you that amazing spot that one day you turn to our team and say, Mark, Nikki, Michelle, Alana, whoever on our team, and you say, like, I just found my spot. Thank you so much. It could take us a day. It could take us 6 months. It could take us a couple of years, but we're on this trip with you. The journey is about you and not about us. Now, hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Now, next week is going to be Christmas week. So on Wednesday, I'm going to drop another home tour. They're probably going to do the next for the next week just because it's New Year's, but then we will be back in 2026. Same format. You're just going to see me live, and we're going to go over some questions well overdue, and we're going to talk a little bit on the market, what to expect in 2026. All right, Dave, any parting words? By the way, guys, give Dave love. Smash that like button. He came on. He was very, very, very nervous about coming on, so give him a little love. Give him a thumbs up. I know he was selling LGI hard, but that's because he's one of their top salespeople out there. But we do appreciate getting a little bit of the insight on why Linda, Plumas Lake, Olivehurst are like people are floating over there too, where they're coming from. And so if you did appreciate his time and got a little insight, I appreciate a thumbs up. And maybe Dave will see you at the Costco gas where they're selling gallon 352. Did you say that?
340.
340 a gallon at Costco in
It was it
Linda.
was it was 337 2 nights ago when I filled up my truck.
Oi, I might even go there. I mean, I know, I won't, but you know what I mean. Next time I'm out there, I probably will fill up. All right, Dave, any parting words before we say adios for the night?
Honestly, I just want to thank you, Mark, for just trusting me to get on here and be professional and share the good news. Like I said, I've lived here for 5 years. My wife's been very supportive of LGI Homes, and I just really believe in what the mission is of LGI Homes. It is affordability. It's helping people get out of renting and into home ownership. We really, really believe in that. That's our number one goal, is to help people get into a home and own it. So if you're tired of renting and you'd like to own, I'd love to have a conversation. Just give you a tour. We're happy to do it. Call Mark, call myself. We're happy to help.
All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the evening. Guys, one thing I want to say before I go off the air tonight is hopefully you've had an amazing 2025. And if you haven't, I send positive energy your way. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, tuning in, watching the videos, liking the videos, commenting, and showing up. You don't really understand how much that means to me. You guys give me energy. You guys give me enthusiasm to do this every single week, except of course some holidays. But other than that, I love it. And I appreciate you guys. Without you guys, I wouldn't be doing this. And I appreciate everything. And again, shameless plug, if you are looking for some answers, if you're looking for some education on the area, if you want a team to work with, guys, we would love the opportunity to talk to you a little bit about the area, even if it's just a question, even if it's something about a rental or whatnot. We're here for you. Until next video, this is Mark. Have a good one. Okay, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the show tonight. Buying and selling is stressful. I mean, there are definitely different avenues you can go in, and there's no guarantee. Every property is different, whether you're looking to buy it or sell it. So reach out to our team and we can talk to you a little bit about the pros and cons of selling currently, what your house is valued at, and all that stuff too. There's a link below to schedule a call. Now, if you're thinking about moving to the area, guys, reach out to our team as well. We're working with a lot of people relocating them to the Sacramento area. We absolutely love it. There's a Zoom link below. Set up a time where we can talk to you a little bit about what your needs are. Now, if you enjoyed this live broadcast, smash that like button. We would love to talk to you a little bit about Sacramento. I mean, we always are out and about. So if you're looking at places like El Dorado, Roseville, Rockland, Davis, we got you covered. Just reach out to us. And maybe you don't want to do a Zoom call, so just hit me at my phone number on the banner and we can talk a little Sacramento. Now, guys, one last thing before I go, there's a playlist right over there of other videos I've done about the Sacramento area. Knowledge is power. Those videos will help you kind of make a decision if Sacramento is that spot for you and you want to take it to the next stage. All right, guys, this is Mark. Have a good one. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Remember, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next video.